Hello. Whew, it's a hot one, but I am determined to get some paint down on some miniatures anyway. I'm going to be doing tonight the Grymwatch from Diachasm, Warhammer Underworlds, whatever other names it goes by, as I think I can do them fairly speedy, because a lot of it is things like the Plague Bearer Flesh from GW and some other bits and pieces. So I think I can splash a lot of colour around, get them quite grim looking, hence the name, and yeah, get them done. There's also a couple of bats here, so I think they'll again be fairly easy to paint up with the colour sets that we have. So yeah, we'll just get cracking. If anyone jumps into the chat, feel free to say hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay, see me okay. Levels look to be good, so yeah, I will crack on. I will turn the audio down a little bit because that's probably quite loud. Let me turn that down. There we go. Right, yeah, let's crack on. So I'm probably going to do a test model first. So I'm going to pick this guy because he's fairly sort of spread out, so I can get around and pick him off fairly easy, I reckon. So I'm going to use the Plague Flesh for pretty much all of the body parts. And given the name, it should work fairly easily. What I might do as a highlight is maybe drop some sort of purple into areas to make them look a bit bruised up and that. But keep it simple. Yeah, this will be the 12th warband when completed. Which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it definitely needs another colour. So whilst it's still wet, I'm going to drop a little bit of purple into just some areas, maybe like around the knees and stuff. going to try and keep it moving so that any contrasts I add at this point sort of blend and bleed into the other colours. Hey man. Jim, it's on YouTube, man. Don't cry yourself to sleep. Switch over to the Hobby Lodge on YouTube and you can watch it back. You missed me having a lot of frustration because I couldn't get where I wanted to get. But it was a good I enjoyed playing the game again, so but thanks Jim. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in and saying hello. Yeah, never fret. There's always more Retro Mondays, and then they're always on YouTube's. If you ever found yourself wanting to get your retro fix, yeah. And just going, ah. Whoa, Day Day Playstyle, thank you very much for that subscription. That's very cool of you. Thank you for your Amazon Prime. That's really nice. Thank you very, very much. Enjoy the Dusty emote, my little dog. That's very cool of you to do that. Thank you. Yeah, this guy's looking all right. Hey, there we go. It's Dusty. You'll probably hear at some point during the stream because she'll think there's a fox and she'll run outside and bark at the fox. Now I think if we do hit like 10 subs, I think I can get another emote, and it's going to be a fox. I have to have a fox emote because that is what Dusty always thinks is outside and goes running out there, bark, 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 to find said fox. So I think it's only fitting that the next emote needs to be a fox. If we reach it, of course. That is a big thing. Yeah, so tonight we're doing the Grymwatch. So this will be the 12th warband that I have painted for Underworld or Diachasm, whatever you want to call it. I really enjoyed painting them. Every single one of them is different and unique, and they're great fun to paint up. So yeah, it's been a jolly good crack so far. And of course, with a bit of contrast paint, you can smash these out, no worries. Anyone else hobbying this evening? Anyone painting or writing or researching? You're still working, Jim, I assume, unless you've wangled some time off. Hobby, you know, that thing you do that's your second job. Don't be mad. Oh. Oh, you're not telling me not to be mad. You're saying I must be mad if you think you've got time for hobby. I'm shooting some holes in some Englishmen. On the tabletop, yeah, Jim. You get in trouble for doing that in real life. American Revolution. Nice. My daughter absolutely loves the American Revolution, Jim. She thinks it was an amazing musical. And mostly involved rapping. They're quite lyrical, the founding fathers, I believe. No historical accurate, no? No? Oh. I won't let our hopes down. Nice. That sounds good. But you guys have got Mel Gibson, right? So is he like a special character in the in the forces? With his tomahawks. I mean, he took on entire like regiments, right? So, or certainly patrols. You know what? For what is basically 3 colours, they look quite good. Don't mention that movie. Sorry, buddy. Oh dear. Is it again not historically accurate though? Are there any good historically accurate sort of you know, American independence movies or Civil War movies? Also, I know the sort of British ones for World War and things like that, but I don't really know if I can say that I've seen many on those topics that aren't just the Hollywood sort of blockbuster ones. Musical is more accurate. Well, there you go. What would be your pick, Jim, for some good ones to watch? Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. I'll have to check those out then. Alexa, stop. Don't know why she got involved. It's not bad, Jim, for what's been 20 minutes. These things take the colouring from the contrast paint beautifully. For what's been a 20-minute paint job at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know why he's got a hook in his back. You know, maybe he's on like maybe like a chain gang or something. Maybe they're all chained together. It's one of those rules. Yeah, yeah. This is the afterlife for them. This has become an absolute ghoul. Yeah, they're pretty cool, right? Yeah, I like those weapons. But yeah, as far as sort of like tabletop paint job, these are super fast. I'm actually going to stop on this one now and come back to it when it's dried a bit, and we'll do some touching up around the face and stuff. But yeah, that's a 20 minute. That's 20 minutes start to finish. Right, let's grab another one. Let's keep this painting train moving. I'm so happy this evening started off with a subscription. That was really cool. Was not expecting that. This guy's got a bit of a gap in him. Never mind. Never mind. We'll. I made a lot of these models quite a long time ago, and I've probably this one I look like I've made, and I probably made this guy during a meeting and didn't close this gap up. Never mind. We'll just ignore it. It's going to get thrown around by kids anyway, so. I think it's because these ones are push fit, I think, and I didn't. Normally I cut the pegs slightly shorter so that they actually close up in case you get air trapped in them. It is not the end of the world. exactly. I've been in many meetings where it's this is one of those meetings where you just want me to listen. Okay, yeah, sure. I will listen whilst also clipping this model. This one definitely likes to collect heads. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 heads, not including their own actual head, but. To the one that was originally issued, yeah. Which I think is just greedy. Because those other heads were probably being used. do blooming love contrast paints for how quickly you can get effects working, and it's just great. Well, I know they're not the new kids, it's a technique that's been around a long time, but I certainly didn't know about it, and now it's just how I paint now, pretty much. So dry, it's so warm at the moment that even my wet palette is drying, the paints on my wet palette are drying out. We've had a bit of a heat wave this week in the UK. I think it's set to continue the rest of the week. It is toasty, not Florida toasty. Still pretty toasty. Englishman complaint toasty. Okay. But pretty humid, I imagine. Okay. Well, that's pretty hot, man. For the UK, that would be, we'd be bitching and moaning at that. Yeah, humidity would be bonkers. Well, that's good to hear. I never got to experience anything that extreme whilst I was in Florida. We had some really good rainfall, just like the heavens opened for like you've never seen so much rain in just like a really short period of time. It's like, you'd expect that amount of rain in like an hour or so of raining, and it did it in like 10 minutes. Like, here's all of the rain for today, right now. Okay, hammered and then gone, and then here's the sun. Oh, okay. And then that's when it's super humid because the sun's out and you're just watching the blimmin' water soak into the air. You're like, jeez, I feel like I've wet myself. Oh, that's good to know. Man, you must be running out of names, the amount of hurricanes you have. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that's not actually true. We did have a hurricane. October 2019. We got told it was coming, and we were actually stuck in the car. We were between. We were going from Orlando to Tampa, and changing houses, and we had to go to this car park to wait for our like concierge person, whatever you call them, to give us the keys to the new place. And we were sat in this car, and the wind just started getting faster and faster, to the point where you couldn't even open your car. Like, you opened your car door, you had to be careful it didn't swing back on you and like just smack you. But that lasted for a couple of hours, and we were sat in the car really not happy. We're like, this doesn't feel great. I hope this person shows up. And obviously they must have been on their way to us, and then maybe taken shelter, or I don't know, just maybe slowed right down and couldn't get to us very quickly. But yeah, we sat in that car by a little like lake area, and we were watching the water being swirled around. We were watching the trees. I mean, nothing crazy, like nothing like blew down or anything, but it was really high wind. And we were like, oh, this is interesting, and the radio was sort of talking about it and stuff. So, but nothing like, and obviously, you know, you guys can get some very serious weather situations going on. But man, I'd still trade. I'd still live there. Oh, I'd move to Florida in a heartbeat. I'd probably be on my own. I don't think my wife would do that, but you know, may have to find another one. Yeah, it was. Yeah, October 2019. Like I say, for you, Jim, it may have even just been like a little one. I don't think it was like a big deal. It just felt like when we heard on the radio, we're like, oh god, there's a hurricane coming. You know, you panic as a tourist. You're like, oh god. I'm sure in the day in the life of someone living in Florida, it was like, you know, oh okay, yeah, yes, a bit of strong winds. Yeah, it might have been a tropical storm. It might have been. It was just autumn. I just remember it being really strong winds. Like I say, enough that like you had to be a bit careful when you're moving around and stuff. Like, you'd open the car door, and if a gust came, you just got slammed to the car door or whatever, you know. And it was moving like objects, not just small stuff, like nothing, definitely nothing heavy, like nothing severe. I'm not gonna big it up as if it was like some sort of mass hurricane. It was just a. I think it also didn't help that we didn't quite know where we were, and we were waiting for this person to show up so we could go to our next place. And we were like, bloody hell, what if they don't show up? What do we do? We're like homeless at this point. Like, well, we're going to be driving to the nearest hotel, and that's where we'll be staying for tonight. All sorted out though. And we had the best time ever. Yeah, that would be about right. October 19th, because I was out there for my 40th birthday. So my birthday was on the 12th, and we moved location sort of midway. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's probably about on the money, I reckon. This guy's carrying a severed arm. Awesome. I'm guessing more as a snack than as a weapon. Well, it could be a weapon. My brother used to say to me when I was little that he would rip my arms and legs off and beat me with the wet ends. That used to be the thing he used to say to me. He's a lovely, lovely brother. That was a fur, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let's go with this. Let's go with this fur colour. Oh yeah, that's a nice rich brown. Let's go with that. So I'm moving quite fast as I paint this because I'm trying to keep it all as wet as possible so that I can sort of blend it on the fly where needed. But I'm super chuffed with how this is going. This is 50 minutes in and we've got 3 to already sort of, you know, a point where they're not far away from being tabletop ready, so that's jolly nice. He's actually standing on someone here. There's actually the top of a torso of somebody. I'm just gonna give the impression of that by putting some red around there. Grab some of the black, the top of the tiles here. This guy thinks he's a bit special. He's got like a bit of bone armour on or something by the looks of it. He's seen all his mates being crushed horrendously and thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick some armour made out of my fallen prey. Or actually even one of his fallen buddies here, because that looks like the spine and the ribcage of one of his mates. Oh, cheers, buddy. It's because I keep moving. I need to maybe bring that in a little bit. If I bring that in a little bit, I can get comfy. Comfy is about there. So, yeah, hopefully, let's zoom in a little bit as well. There we go. There we go. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Hey, Clay, hey. Thanks for the applause. Not sure it's applause worthy, but thank you very much anyway. That's very, very kind of you. But we are rocking through some miniatures tonight. This will be the fourth one. Oh, no, mommy, daddy button. It reminds me, I need to do more. I need to do more alerts. I need to add some more, don't I? I'll do that tomorrow. During a boring meeting, I'm going to add some sound alerts into my Twitch stream. Sounds like a good use of the time. Right in the mummy daddy bun. Gosh, it's making me want to do a gaunt army or something, because these things are piss easy to paint. Right, last little henchman guy, and then we're on to the big daddy and the bats. And then we'll go back around again and we'll do highlights and bits and pieces. Yeah, look. She'd be so proud. Although he's clearly broken away from his chains, because the post is still in his back and the shackles and everything have been busted, so maybe he'd been captured and tied up or something, and although that is definitely the leg bone of something, and that's bigger than a human, so I don't know what that's a leg bone of. Maybe it was an ogre. Because that ain't come from no man. Yeah. As long as it was consenting, it's all good in my book. As long as I established a safe word. Hey Janus, yes, very good, thank you. Thanks for coming and saying hello. Much appreciated. We are speeding through some Grymwatch from Underworlds. I was about to say I'm keeping it wet and just moving around, but that is horrendous, so I won't say that. I didn't say that. That isn't what I said. What I meant was the paint. We're keeping the paint wet and we're just moving it around. Definitely don't clip that. I'm constantly having to refresh my paints because the wet palette is not doing its job, even though it has a ton of water in it. You up to much tonight, Janus? You just chilling? I know the Beast of War guy as well. The community are doing their radio spot tonight, aren't they? Oh, I never I hate the sort of streaming over the top of things, but there's always something going on now. It's like you just gotta get on with it, and it comes. It definitely comes. It comes, and it certainly goes. I normally get it. I know, Jim. I do. I don't like it. It's but what can you do? You can't not do it. Otherwise, you'll never actually stream yourself if you're worried about everyone else constantly streaming. Especially now because the community's bigger and bigger. There's a lot more of us. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, painting mode. I often lose my. Once I've completed a project, I often have a massive down sort of downer on the whole thing, and it takes me maybe a couple of weeks to get back into it. So it definitely happens. It sucks when it happens, but I will be interested to see how much I've achieved this year, because I think I've actually painted quite a lot. It certainly feels like I have, but maybe I haven't. But it feels like I must be in the almost 300 miniatures range this year, I reckon. Yes. I don't think when Warren's doing the radio show, I won't stream. Not because I don't want to stream. I really enjoy the radio show, so I'll probably be in the radio show. Yes, I remember your Neapolics. They're great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you can see the your work on the table and it's looking super cool, that might inspire you to jump on the next thing. I was like that when I finished. What's it called? What the hell is it called? The name of it's gone completely out of my head. Mythic's Arena Battler. What the hell is it called? I've just completely forgotten what the hell it's called. I'm literally suffering from some sort of memory loss. I painted the entire thing. Super Fantasy Brawl. Man, God, that did my head in. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I know it's such a simple thing, but God, do I love the cotton wool or bear stuffing or whatever that is, sort of musket flashes. It's really, it looks so cool. It's such a simple thing, but makes it just look real. Just makes it come alive. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I started doing that for when I was building my French town for. Oh my god, I've forgotten all Flames of War. Man, I'm having trouble remembering games tonight. And putting in little tea lights with a bit of cotton wool on top and sort of pulling it out and then spraying it black and grey. And then when you turn it on, it looks like explosions in the houses and stuff. I thought that was really cool. Hey, McGothmog. Thanks for popping in, buddy. Yeah, but those little musket flashes, or the smoke from the muskets, looks really... It's just a tiny little thing, but it does look cool. It is worth doing. I guess it's also quite a do you put it down after that unit is shot, Jim? Is that like also an indication for the, we know who shot this round? It's not just a looks thing. I mean, obviously it wouldn't matter because it looks cool, but I can imagine it could also be used as some sort of marker. Oh, sorry, buddy. Actually says the game. Yes. Sorry, man. I didn't see that. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's way better. It's way better than just sticking a token down next to them or something, isn't it? it's proper. It's proper cool. And it just looks great. It just genuinely, like, looking at that picture again, and you've got the guys on the very right hand side shooting over the river. Like, you can quickly look around and see where all the action's kicking off. It's really cool. It's a great setup, man. It's a great lot of lovely terrain there. I'm loving the scattered hay over the field. It's really nicely done. It's a great looking table. Right, I've got the big boy now. So no different on the big boy. We're just going to keep doing what we've been doing on the others. Oh, awesome. I look forward to that. Is this in your house, Jim, or is this at a club? Not that I'm inviting myself to your house, but nice. Cheers, Janus. Thanks for coming in, my friend. Have a good night's sleep, and hopefully see you later in the week. Does that mean you have a finite amount of time you can leave it up on the dining room table? Okay. Oh, that's alright then. And is it just not been played since then, or has it been like a slow burn game of like, turns over a long time? You know, when like some people play chess over several years, don't they? Because they only get to make a turn every few weeks or something. Ah, cool. Oh, what's going to happen? Keep us. Actually, no, don't. Yeah, we can watch the battle report when it comes out for sure. So proper battle then. It's alright, Jim. It doesn't matter. If we all know what really happened, so it's okay. I always feel like that when I'm playing Flames of War and like I'm playing the Germans or something. I'm like, I just don't like to win. I just want to lose. Oh, how things have changed from one of the biggest powers in the world to pretty laughable at this point. With a Not a very nice subject to talk about, but obviously it's 10 years since 9/11, right? So the TV at the moment seems to be just packed with documentaries about all of the goings on, and we watched one last night, and man, just being reminded of it all was insane. I think maybe because I'm older now and I've got kids, and not that I didn't have kids back then, but I was a lot younger, and just watching it now as they sort of play things back, just horrendous. I saw footage last night that I'd never seen before, like from people on the ground. Sorry, it's the 20. Sorry, it's yeah, it's yeah, and footage on the ground that there was a police chief was investigating a gas leak or something, and there was a crew there filming the sort of investigation, and they hear a low plane going over, and the guy filming turns up, and you just watch. I'd never seen this before. I'd only ever seen it from a distance where you see it going. It's still horrific, but this was like up close, and you just saw the plane just disappear into the first building. Oh man, it is a tough thing to watch back, even though it is now 20 years, as you say. And they obviously now got a lot more, people have, over the time, they've collected all the footage in, and and they weren't making it for, it wasn't for any other reason than just trying to obviously show people, and it was just horrendous. Like the people there, with footage from people in their homes and watching the smoke cloud, when the buildings obviously fell, and the clouds of smoke were like waves across people's homes and the windows they were in, and just absolutely incredible, in the worst possible way. Just crazy. But I thought it's historical. It's a moment in time. It should be remembered and thought about. What's it like in the US, Jim? Is it treated like a day of mourning, or is it because we obviously we had nowhere near the level of terror that you guys had, but we had, ours was the we had the 7/7 thing, right, with the London buses were being blown up and quite a few people were killed on those, but I think now really it's kind of not really spoken about. I think because we've had a few terror type attacks in London, but something of the scale of 9/11, I don't know how it's viewed in the, what's it like? Is it I don't know, just interested. It's a Patriot Day. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if it was like, if they had like remembrance type days, sort of things like that. It would make complete sense. It did. I mean, it was one of the worst atrocities since, I guess, really. Would you say? I guess really since Pearl Harbor was the biggest attack on the country. Yeah. Yeah, so not like a national holiday type thing, but certainly a day of remembrance. Like probably church services and that sort of vigils and stuff like that, I imagine. crazy, just absolute crazy. And I guess what I didn't quite realise was how organised it must have been, because when you watch the footage again and you realise the size of a plane and the size of a building, you've got to be pretty accurate to hit them in the way that they were. It didn't just clip the side. It didn't just like scrape it. It went dead centre. Both of them did, almost dead centre into the buildings, and just vaporised in the building. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, absolutely. It was a military target. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's much worse, isn't it? Because you know, yeah, you're right, Jim. It's not even comparable, is it? Because you kind of, not that you'd want it to happen, but if you're in a military base, you are a target in warfare, right? So you kind of it's kind of not, no one ever expects to be attacked, but you wouldn't be, given what was actually stationed there, it's not a surprise, right? So but yeah, never ever you expecting what happened to have happened. I mean, even they obviously played back some of the radio comms from the control towers and that, and they call. I'm guessing they call the national security or some emergency response team, and they say like, we've lost contact with a flight, and he even says you need to scramble F-16s or something. He says, he literally says the words F-16s or something like that. And the guy on the other end is like, is this a drill, or is this a rehearsal sort of thing? So they were just totally unaware, crazy. Please no, Jim, I only talk about this just because, for no other reason than it's just there, and I am, I know it's a tough thing. I mean, even like I say, watching it last night again, it was, and I'm not even American, I wasn't even there, I had no skin in that game whatsoever, but it just felt horrific watching it back again. And actually, so I was, you're right, well, of course it was 20 years ago, because I remember it was one of my first IT jobs, and I was fixing some computers in our tech design department, where they have the big plotters and all this sort of stuff. These guys do big design drawings. One of the guys in there had a little TV, it must have been like a 9 or 10 inch TV, really tiny, and the news was on it. And it was talking about the plane hitting the first tower, and we're like cracking. We're sitting there watching it, like whilst I was kind of working, and as we're talking, we both see on the news, behind the news reader, the second plane go in live, and your brain couldn't work it out. You were like, is that a replay of what's just happened? But the building's already smoky. Like, it's like, no shit, that's actually a second plane, and it's a. That day then just became like you didn't leave a TV screen, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they thought it was a terrible accident. Yeah, 100% right. This is what they were saying last night. They had people on the street, people in their homes, in the buildings. It was on the BBC. I don't know if it will get aired in America. I'm sure you can probably watch it on BBC World or something. But they brought all this footage together from various areas so they could jump around, and that was it. It was an accident. It was a plane lost control, and then the second one hit, and there was loads of confusion about, was it a second plane? I think people said also, was it a missile? Yeah, and of course, yeah, as soon as that second, you knew immediately then, this is an attack. It's like, you know, it can't be anything else. Yeah. And of course they tried to which flight was it? Was it 93 or 77? One of the planes that the passengers kind of got wind of. These were being crashed into buildings, and decided to say, right, sod it. We're either going to die crashing into a building, or we're going to die trying to take over this plane again. So let's try and take over the plane. And obviously that it tragically crashed into the ground, but on its way to Washington, wasn't it? So, you know, was that going to, you know, the White House or something else in Washington? And obviously then, the one that crashed into and that's when it gets crazy, because then the next news story is plane United 93. That was it, yeah. And obviously the one that hit the Pentagon. Just bonkers, man. Absolutely. That's like, in the UK, that would be like, you know, crashing into, you know, Buckingham Palace, Houses of Parliament, and then, you know, the Shard and the NatWest building. And if that happened in London, Jesus Christ, you just can't even imagine, mate. Cannot even imagine. Yeah. Do you reckon I'm assuming, because weren't they tracking it at that point? They had escort by that point, didn't they? And I wonder if they would have actually shot it down before it reached the White House. Yeah, I bet. They'd been scared. The footage of the people in New York, they were scared witless. They didn't know what to do. People were just collapsing from stress and all sorts. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine there's probably a lot of calling for a pretty severe response. I can imagine. Crikey. I hope you don't mind me talking about it, Jim. If you please tell me to shut up. It's okay. Oh, really? Yeah, I think that's what happens with panic, right? People just react in the craziest of ways. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, they showed footage of they were just evacuating every building they could, and almost, you know, did they? I don't know if they ordered the evacuation of Manhattan Island. I don't know, but I know that they showed an awful lot of the the apartment buildings and stuff in the area, to just people just started evacuating and leaving. Anything of any significant height, they were just getting out of buildings, because, like you say, they just didn't know. They just didn't know if there was more on the way. There's no way of knowing. Yeah. But you would, right? I mean, if you were living there, you would just be like, we're out of here. Hey, Mort. Right, that's it. We'll stop. We'll stop. We'll stop. You sod, Jim. You absolute git. uh, I can't even say anything now, Jim. You can. How you doing, Mort? You okay? Jeez, tree Mort, we were discussing a very serious subject, and just because it's you know, it's sort of all over the TV again at the moment because of the 20-year anniversary. And anniversary sounds terrible, right? As if it's like anniversaries are normally things you celebrate, sort of thing. But it's obviously coming up to 20 years since 9/11. So I was watching a documentary on it last night on the BBC, and it was just showing stuff that I'd never really seen before, and how it just brought it. And as a a non-American individual, even still, just how horrific it is from a human standpoint. It's just that's what we were sort of talking about. Obviously, Jim being an American, I was interested to see how it's still thought about and treated in the US and stuff. And trying to equate it to, like, if I know we've had horrific events in London and stuff, but nothing on that scale. That was it. And obviously, I mean, it is a not a very nice topic, but it is important that we remember it and we talk about it, and because it's absolutely bonkers, right? But it is the world we live in. So yeah, that was it. It wasn't the cheeriest of subjects, but a very important subject, I will say. And Jim was very kind enough to share some thoughts from an American's perspective. But yeah, I don't know if you saw the same thing, more, but yeah, I think it was on. Pretty sure it was BBC. It might have been ITV actually, because I think there were it might have been ad breaks in it. I can't remember. It's one of those things where I just couldn't, like, the stuff that was going on. Just all of the people's perspectives, and especially the fire brigade and just the absolute legends that they are. Knowing that they were going, just to have the balls to go in and do the stuff that they did. They were made of some. They were made of some different stuff. Yeah. Thanks, Jim. I'm going to do these mostly in black and then come back and highlight them up a bit, but for now I just want to get a base coat of black down. You know, I'll think about doing something clever with them. Yeah, go back to shooting the British, we don't mind. Absolutely. You kicked us out, man. We weren't being very nice anyway, was we? It's not like we didn't deserve it. I can't really take the moral high ground and say that we were a good thing. Yeah. Well, you picked the right ones. They all hate us. that hasn't really changed. I don't think the French still hate us. And this, not sure I mean, the Spanish probably not so much, but yeah, no love lost there, is there? I mean, to be honest, we had it coming, right? I mean, we didn't play nice with others. We like to own things and people, and we maybe didn't treat them so nice. So that came back to bite us eventually, and I think that's probably the kicking we deserved. Yeah. Yeah, but if we kept America, I could move to Florida really easy now. That Now there's loads of hoops I have to jump through. Why can't you just now just come back and get us as the what would we be now? The 51st state, 52nd state? Keeps changing. The number keeps changing. Yeah, I'd be a Florida man, definitely. Thanks, man. Might be my retirement place, maybe. I just need to check outside for a second. I think it might be raining. Is it raining? It can't be raining. It is raining. Oh, I'll leave the door open. It was roasting hot sun earlier. Yeah, well, it's a glorious rain. Oh, that will cool things down a bit. Oh, I can feel it actually. Instantly, a bit of cool breeze coming in. And because it's raining, I'm hoping insects won't come flying in here now, because they tend to try and stay out of the rain. Oh, I don't know, I feel nice. A bit of cool breeze coming in. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, big time. Big time. I love a thunderstorm, man. I love the air after a thunderstorm. You can literally feel it's fresher. you breathe and you're like, oh, that's like new air. It's like in Spaceballs when he cracks a can of fresh air and drinks it. Or breathes it in. That's what air after thunderstorms like. You've forgotten the bit in Spaceballs. I love it. It's got cans of fresh air. Oh man, I haven't seen Spaceballs in years. I need to watch that. How many assholes have I got on this ship anyway? Sir! The room stands up. God, I'm surrounded by assholes. Exactly. God, I'm surrounded by assholes. Sorry, dude. How could you not, though, man? That's like one of the best lines. That would be amazing. What? Yes. Yeah. We've got to find the Schwartz. They've gone to Plaid. So they've made the jump to hyperspace. Well, what's this thing got? No, go to ludicrous speed. Yeah, I mean, is anything funny in those movies now? Yeah, Young Frankenstein, yeah. That's the 40 sister. We can't stop. We've got to slow down first. No, he just hits the button, flies straight forward into the bulk of the ship. We can't stop. We've got to slow down first. Go back to then. We can't. Why not? We just missed it. Doing the whole video thing. We can look back on Spaceballs the movie. Oh man, don't get me started. We did this one night talking about Naked Gun movies, didn't we? And then I went and bought all three of the Naked Gun movies that night. So this means now I will be finding Spaceballs somewhere. You better buckle up, sir. Buckle this. Oh man, they just don't make movies like... I know I sound like an old man, but they don't make movies like that anymore. When the ship turns into a maid, they're all standing there going, suck, 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 suck. I suppose that's probably banned now. I probably won't even be able to buy it or something. It's probably a banned movie. He's like combing the desert. You've got the guys with the giant long comb, and then you got the two black guys with the afro comb. Oh man. What the secret? What the what's no the merchandising. You got Spaceballs the lunchbox, Spaceballs the thermos. Oh guys, I'm dying. You got the sweeps, you got the creeps, and you got the beeps. You got the sweeps, you got the creeps, and you got the beeps. Beep beep beep. It's the guy from Police Academy, isn't he? He does all the noises. Amazing. They jammed the radar. God damn. What kind? It's raspberry. Only one person uses raspberry jam. Lone Star. Oh man, I'm having to. I'm watching it. I'm gonna go and watch it. Oh man, you're kidding me. Yeah. She does turn into female Space Rambo, yeah. You shot my hair. She just loses it. Just takes everyone out. Oh man. Oh man. What a great movie. It's actually making my head hurt from just remembering how bloody funny it is. And oh man. So good. So good. But yeah, all of those from that era, the comedies from then were just the best. Without a shadow of a doubt. So good. Such good movies. The merchandise. Got Spaceballs the thermos, Spaceballs the lunchbox. He's got a little version of himself, and with a pull string. And the kids are gonna love this one. Yeah. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, ragtop. It goes off dancing with its hat and its cane. Oh no, not again. Check, please. Oh, amazing. I don't actually think there's much highlighting I need to do on these guys. The colorations from the contrast where I've mixed in a bit of purple and that, it's come out really nicely. I don't think I'm not sure I want to do anything. I maybe want to grab a bit of bone to do some teeth, but really I'm not going to go too crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I think it looks pretty good as it is. I'm worried about if I do something to it, I might actually just make it look crappy, so I'm just going to leave it, I think. I feel like I want to do something to the weapons, but even those with the black, they just look quite menacing. But I think I will just hit them with a little bit of a dry brush of silver, I think. Just so I can bash them up a little bit. Hey Jan. Hey buddy. How you doing, sir? You alright? We have managed to whiz through 2, 4, 6 models this evening. Finished up another moonstone this one. I was around in the background, buddy. I saw you working. I was just lurking whilst working away. Yeah, it's you are not helping with the. Everyone's telling me to look at moonstone. Literally, anyone I talk to is sort of going, "Oh, if you looks at moonstone, you should definitely look at moonstone." Like, yeah, I know. I will do. I promise. Everyone's told me it's amazing. I'm gonna look at it. Blame Jerry. Yeah. I love this guy. Like, almost. I don't know if he's eating, or going to be like, hitting someone with this arm, but it's such a cool little thing to have him just holding this arm. I will blood it up a little bit. I won't go too crazy, but I will put some wetness in there to give it a bit of a bloody look. We were just reminiscing, Jan, over old comedies like Spaceball, or specifically Spaceballs. But it's funny how we've been on this subject before, because we were talking about the Naked Gun movies. Where is my corrosion? Where's my corrosion stuff? Someone's had that away. What's it? My son has taken that paint. The little sod. He has, hasn't he? Oh, maybe he hasn't. Alright. I think I had 2 pots of it. One's definitely gone missing. Black. Yeah, Blackadder. I have a little claim to fame in that I can technically call myself Rowan Atkinson's friend. There we go. He has split up. He split up with his wife a few years ago now. But he's now his girlfriend, a lady called Louise Ford. You can Google it. Is my wife's like best friend from school. So we've been out. I wouldn't say it's like we're best. I wouldn't say we're besties, but we have been to things together. And I have had conversations with him many times. Yeah. There you go. I know Rowan Atkinson. Which is pretty cool. Lord Nurgle disapproves of this. What, of me knowing Rowan Atkinson, or he disapproves of my model painting? Because that's also he may well disapprove of my model painting. Although I think Nurgle would like my model painting, because my model painting is a mess, and Lord Nurgle would love it to be a mess. So What if I could wangle that? What if I could wangle Baron Atkinson to come into the stream? Missing corrosion, yeah, definitely, yes, that would be bad. Luckily, I tend to have 2 of everything, so I went to the reserves. And I was able to pick out something from the reserves. Thankfully. Right, guys, I do need to finish up in 10 minutes because I'm actually half an hour longer than what I said I would be. And there is something in this world much worse than Papa Nurgle. And that is an unhappy wife. Can frankly make Papa Nurgle look like an amateur. But as you can see, wife off, yeah, exactly. And that's not fun, is it? No one wants that. No one wants that. That's not fun for anybody. But what I'm happy about is that on all of these I've got colour down. So even these bats who I rushed very quickly just to slap a load of black over, there is colour on them, and it means I can come back and tart them up a bit. It's a technical term, and I will feel like we've made progress. And I've had some great conversations, so thanks. We spoke about a very delicate subject this evening, and I appreciate that very much. Obviously, then I had a great laugh talking about just some amazing comedy classics from my younger life. The aeroplanes, the Naked Guns, the Spaceballs, the Blackadders, the Loaded Weapon. Oh God, there's so many that just couldn't be made today because everyone's too uptight. Cool, right, I'm going to give a quick look at where we are, what stage we're at with this lot. So, and then we will call it. So, we started tonight with nothing painted, and then we started with this guy. Let me get him in focus. Come on, focus camera. So, yeah, so nothing was painted when we started 2 hours ago. So, we've got this guy sort of not far away from being tabletop ready. We've got another one here. Again, just really making use of keeping the paint wet and the contrast paints and letting that do most of the heavy lifting. So another guy there. We've got this guy who's kind of, I'm not sure if he's eating this arm or going to use this arm as an offensive weapon, but another one, and he's also standing on a body as well. So we have this black-haired lady. Definitely is a lady. She's got lady bits, and she loves heads. So she's carrying a head and also has 4 heads upon her person. So she actually has, a lot of, yeah, exactly, an emo zombie. Absolutely, yeah. Looks a bit like the girl from Ring, former mother-in-law. And then this dude who's wearing his buddies as armor. So he's got a skeletal armor, and even the hat of someone he knew. And then we've got like the leader. So yeah. So I'm really happy with how these are turned for what is literally 20 minutes per. Well, this is what, so 2, 4, 6, 7. Probably 20 minutes of work on each one to get us to where we are. So I reckon another 10-15 minutes per model, and we will have another nice looking warband. And then the bats. So the bats are going to need the most work because there's not really much done to them. So I just wanted to slap it down as almost base colours, and then I can come back to it. But yeah, this is a cool model. I like this guy. So we'll rust him up a bit. We'll go back and we'll do some bone. We'll work on this one the most as he's the leader, and then we will just finish off the others. But yeah. Right, I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out this evening. Thanks to Dodo Playstyle earlier for the sub. That was super cool. I don't think we had any other followers, but no, we didn't. We just had the sub. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, McGothmog. Thanks, everybody. Janus, Genuine, everyone that's been in. Mort, thank you very much. I will see you on the next one. Maybe as soon as tomorrow. Because I'd like to get these guys finished off, and then I can jump on to the next thing and just keep this painting trucker rolling. See you later, everybody. Have a great evening. If I don't see you, have a great rest of the week. But yeah, keep it easy. Cheers all. Bye bye.